This is something that I never thought I would be able to do with my ostomy. Hey guys, it's Maggie and I am back today. In today's video, I thought I would do something a little fun. I want to share with you guys some wedding guest outfits that I've put together. We have 4 weddings this year, which feels like a lot. We've already been to 1 out of the 4 and had a great time. But this is something that I never thought I would be able to do with my ostomy. And I am very, very happy to say that that is not the case. I am able to put on a really nice dress or a really nice outfit and have nobody realize that I am living with an ostomy and go have fun. So I'm going to show you these outfits today and I hope you enjoy them. I really want this to be an encouragement to you if you are just feeling like you're stuck in sweatpants and baggy sweatshirts and all of that. That's how I felt leaving the hospital at 16 years old. After I got this stoma that I didn't expect to have, I thought, I can't leave the house. There's no way I can leave the house. I will be stuck in my room, unable to wear anything that I like, and that's gonna be the rest of my life. And the very first moment that I realized this might not be the case, coincidentally, I brought this long shirt, and I still have it today because I can't throw it away. I brought this long shirt to the hospital that I would hopefully, I was hoping to eventually leave the hospital in. And it was long enough that it covered my entire ostomy pouch. And I remember on discharge day, I put this shirt on, came out of the bathroom, and I was like, Dad, look at me. You can't even see the ostomy bag. I was so thrilled. I thought maybe this doesn't have to be the case. Maybe people don't have to automatically see my bag and that be the first thing that they notice about me. So we've come a long way. We've come a very long way from that day, and I'm excited to show you these dresses that I have. They're not all dresses, but they're different materials and they're different fits. One I already wore and loved. I thought I looked good. Before we get into these outfits though, I am thrilled to say that Element is sponsoring this video again. If you've ever been to a wedding with your ostomy, you might know it's a good way to get dehydrated, especially if you're out on the dance floor, you're away from your table, maybe away from fluids that you could be drinking. You're gonna be sweating it up and you're probably gonna get dehydrated and not feel great the next day. If you don't know what Element is, they are a 0 sugar electrolyte. They come in a packet that's easy to just put into a water bottle. I like to drink it before I go to any event. So before I go to a wedding, I make sure that I'm hydrating with it beforehand. And then of course, this comes along with me. I bring another round of it so that way I can hydrate on the way there and on the way back. I know that I've talked a lot about dehydration on my channel, but it's actually one of the #1 ways somebody with an ostomy can be readmitted to the hospital. We can get dehydrated very quickly. And because of this, I have tried a number of electrolyte solutions, just trying to stay ahead and not fall behind, because dehydration causes a lot of fun symptoms: fatigue, headaches, weakness. And if your electrolytes are all out of balance, it affects so many functions in the body that you just don't want to mess with. It can be a very serious problem. When I finally found Element, it was definitely a sudden change for me. I've tried so many different mixtures with different amounts of electrolytes, but I found that the 1,000 milligrams of sodium, the 200 of potassium, and the 60 of magnesium, that just seems to be the perfect amount that I absorb the fluid well. Some of the electrolytes help you actually pull the fluid into your intestines. It just seemed like it worked better and I could feel the difference. Plus, it's just always something I'm reaching for because it's got a great flavor. It's not too salty, not too sweet. It's just very thirst quenching and doesn't have all the extra stuff that you don't want, like artificial flavoring, gluten, coloring, none of that nonsense. And right now, Element is kindly offering my viewers a free sample pack with any order of Element. That means you would get 8 single serving packets with any order. It's for you to try a bunch of different flavors, or you can share it with a salty friend. Get yours by going to drinkelement.com/letstalkibd. That's DRINK lmnt.com/LetsTalkIBD. This offer is only available through that link. So make sure to head to the description, click the link, or type it out in your URL bar. But thank you, Element, so much for sponsoring this video. They are incredibly kind and just make a huge difference in how I'm feeling. Okay, let's get into these wedding guest dresses now. I'm going to change into these dresses so you can actually see what they look like on. And as I do so, I'm going to share some of the tips that I use every time I go to an event, not just a wedding, but anytime I go out, to make sure that I feel comfortable and I'm not dealing with any ostomy issues, because you know, it's one thing to deal with ostomy problems at home, but it is completely different when you are out of your comfort zone in public. So I'm going to share some of the ways that I just avoid those very embarrassing moments. All right, let's change to the first one. All right, here we are. I've got dress number 1 here. This is the one that I already wore to one of the weddings. I just got this not super long ago, and it's from Lulu's. If you shop there, I think all these dresses are, because I found that they fit really well, and they're pretty decent quality, and not too crazy expensive. So this is a very form-fitting dress. Let me try it on for you. All right, here I am in the dress. I'm going to put some heels on. I wanted to do a fun transition, and I didn't think about the height difference, which there really wasn't a ton. I'm wearing some really short heels here. But I loved this dress. I think it's the most comfortable out of all of these. It's a very thin fabric, and I was mildly worried that it wouldn't be all that forgiving. And I mean, I guess it isn't, because it does cling to your body. But the thing that I did, let me get them real quick to show you. I had 2 things going on the night that I wore this, just to make sure that everything remained smooth and everything was really comfortable for me. So the first thing was, sorry, I gotta hold the mic and do this. I didn't think this through. Okay, so the first thing that I did was I got these high-waisted underwear from Walmart. $3 at Walmart. I have used things like ostomy bands. I've done ostomy-specific underwear, but I really like these because they're actually quite thin, very comfortable. They go up really high, so that means even if you're like me and your stoma is a little bit higher, the whole bag is covered. And as my ostomy bag filled, this kept it close to my skin. It helped, it's gonna sound weird, it helped distribute my output, like it pressed it down a little bit, so that way it wasn't all going to the bottom of the bag. There are different ways that you could do that. You could do that with the little gelling packets. If your output is a little bit more watery, that's when it tends to go to the bottom of the bag and people notice it. But if you thicken up your output, it's easier to press down. This kind of does that for me without the gelling packet, although they're very helpful if you're just having a watery output kind of day. Now, anytime I wear anything like this that's high-waisted, that covers my entire ostomy, I notice that if my ostomy bag is even slightly wet from the shower, or if it's just a really humid day, I have been having issues with getting a little fungal rash. It's common, you know, it happens when there's moisture with your ostomy. So I've been using my stoma cloak. I just throw this on, then I put this over it, keeps it nice and dry in there, and then this really just keeps everything smooth. So I don't know, I really love this. Oh, my little thingy fell off. My little, what do they call it? Looks like a bunny tail. They might actually call it that. Hopefully the sound wasn't too bad for you. But I love this. I think it's so flattering, and it's like flowy at the end, and it's not all the way to the floor. The problem, the problem that I had with these dresses, this is the only issue I have, is that as a short person of 5 feet and ½ an inch, they're all really long, so I did have to hem some of them myself. This one I didn't have to do that because it's like a midi length, so yeah, yay. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, this one is one that I got last year, and the fabric is sort of, it's like a velvet. It's got a liner inside of it, so you can't really see through it. And I really loved this one. I know it appears kind of dark on camera, but it's actually, when it hits the sun, it turns this really nice, sort of like, I don't want to say a midnight blue, but maybe a little bit lighter than that. And it was very comfortable, very stretchy. So let me get this guy on. All right, here is the next dress. This one, like I said, I wore to a wedding last year, and this is the one that I'm going to wear to the next wedding. I am noticing that it's going to need some fixing. There are some loose strings and a little hole right here. It must have been a rough night the last time I wore it. I don't know what happened. It really does, in the camera, look like it's quite a bit darker than it is. It is a navy-ish blue with a tint of purple. And the really nice thing about it is, while it is mainly velvet, there are areas that are sort of, it's almost like the velvet's been picked from the fabric, and that's where the flowers are. And there's some ruching here, so it really helps to disguise an ostomy that's filling. I remember the night that I did wear this, my ostomy was kind of, well, it's picking up a bit. And I remember going to the bathroom frequently. It was just a small wedding that I wore this to, so we were in a restaurant. But it worked out really well because for the most part, my ostomy was hidden. It also has a nice little slit here. I did look on the website to see if this was still available, and I couldn't find the dress in this color, but I found ones that looked very similar where I'm pretty sure it's the same dress, just in a different color. It is quite fitted, which I like because I feel like it holds itself up. I didn't feel like I was, pulling the dress back up because it was falling down. So I didn't really have to worry too much about it. I hate when you constantly have to adjust your dress all night long. I think it's very irritating, but because this feels like it's pretty tight fitted to me, like the under layer of it feels pretty tightly fitting, there really wasn't a ton of adjusting, and then the outer layer is a bit looser, and yeah, it has my ostomy here. But anyways, let me show you one of the other things that I do to prepare. One of my key things that I especially learned this year is that I need to have a cute little purse that fits my ostomy supplies and also fits my phone. I didn't realize how large my phone was until I bought this cute little purse for my newer dresses, and my phone barely fits. I have to kind of jam it in there. But anyways, I like to make sure that I have a cute purse that's very, inconspicuous. You would know that it's containing some medical supplies. I also like when there's a little pocket inside that you can tuck the supplies into. That way in the main large pocket, you've got your regular stuff, your phone, your chapstick, whatever. So that way if you need to pull some stuff out, no one's really looking. So this was really helpful last year. The only problem I had with this is the chain broke, but it is something that I can definitely fix. The little clasp broke the first night that I was using it, which was very irritating, but I can easily fix it. I just need to get some wire pliers. I don't know if this actually goes with this. This is what I use though. I'm gonna use the purse because it's convenient, it's big, and that's that. This one is a little out of my comfort zone, okay? It's a color that I'm very back and forth about, and it's a jumpsuit, okay? The reason I got this is we are going to sort of a backyard wedding, and I wanted something that I knew if my ostomy grew quite a bit, like maybe if the bathrooms were not as easily accessible, you wouldn't really be able to see it. So that's why I got this guy. It is a jumpsuit, so it does come with its own issues, but I'm pretty sure we can manage. So let's try this guy on. All right, I really like this one. It is extremely comfortable. It feels like I'm wearing pajamas. It's very loose fitting, and my ostomy could pretty much do whatever it wanted to and nobody would notice. It's also double lined. Let me show you here. I'm lifting up the pant leg. There's a double pant leg here. I was going back and forth about this one because I could definitely see it getting a little too warm, but the wedding I'm planning on using it in is a outdoor wedding, and it's going to be towards the end of September, so I feel like there's a good chance it could get a little chilly. Maybe this will work out just fine. I almost cut the lining of the legs out. I almost did, but you know what? I think it's going to keep me warm at the end of the day. The fabric is also pleated, which is one of the first things that I really found helpful with hiding my ostomy. My prom dress was the same kind of fabric. It was just like this, just red. And I found that just really, disguised things. I didn't want my ostomy to be on display. And I think I'm saying a lot of I was trying to hide my ostomy or smooth it out so people would notice. I don't want you to think that I think it's not okay for people to see it. It's just what I feel comfortable with. And, sometimes you don't want your medical condition on display and you don't want it to be the first thing that people see about you. So that's kind of why I like to not show it off too much. I like to disguise it as much as I can because, if I'm going to tell my medical stuff, I want it to be in my control. So yeah, that's why I do this. And I know that not everybody feels comfortable showing their ostomy. So yeah, I really am excited about this. The only thing about it is that it's a jumpsuit, which if you've ever worn a jumpsuit anywhere, it doesn't matter if you have an ostomy or not, the whole thing basically has to come off if you need to go to the bathroom. And it's the same thing with your ostomy. It's got to come off. The only thing that I fear, and this could be a problem if you empty your ostomy bag, the old-fashioned way. I know I do things a little bit differently with my non-drainable, but I still empty them for the most part. I am so worried that I'm going to accidentally, I've got the jumpsuit down around my waist as I'm dealing with my ostomy. I'm so afraid I'm going to dribble down and it's going to get on the shirt part. That would be not fun. So maybe just keep a little laundry detergent pen or something in your purse. I don't know. With any event, with any outfit though, and I know it's really going to be the case with this jumpsuit, is any opportunity that you find to empty your ostomy, even if it's only a little bit full, only if you've got a little bit going on, maybe take the opportunity just so that way later on, if you are finding it difficult to make it over to the restroom, maybe an uncle is chatting your ear off and you can't get away. Keeping it empty frequently not just keeps it smoother looking, but also helps you out later on if you just can't get to the restroom. It buys you a little extra time. That's come in handy for me before if I just keep on top of it rather than waiting until it's pretty full. And then I find myself, there's a line to the bathroom and I can't get in. It's helped me a lot. So I do try to do that often. Doesn't always work out though, because sometimes you just get chatting or you get dancing and you're like, I'll handle it later. I have a new embarrassing story that I will tell you in a few days about, it's going to be a lesson on empty your bag. Don't let it fill up. It was so bad. I'll fill you guys in on that, but new embarrassing moment just happened to me. So, all right, guys, let me switch to the final dress. This one is one of my favorite dresses that I have ever purchased or worn. I think it is absolutely stunning. And it's this beauty here. I got this last year and I wore it to one of my cousin's weddings. I'm gonna wear it to another cousin's wedding this fall. And it's super comfortable. It's super structured, which did make me nervous because it's more form-fitting around the stomach, but I'll show you how I kind of managed with that. All right, let's get this guy on. This one is a stunner. I love it. It's so pretty. I can't get over it. It's sort of a mermaid, so it goes down like this and it's kind of tight fitting and then it goes out. This dress was super long, so I did have to hem it myself, and it's still kind of long. Did I shrink? What happened here? Oh well. This year I'm going to wear this to, I believe it's a country club wedding at the beach. So I don't know if that's I don't know if the place is going to be fancy or what. It's an LBI, but I thought that this would be very fitting and it's going to be in the fall, pretty into the fall. So I thought the dark colors would be pretty nice for that. And the really nice thing about this fabric, while it is form-fitting. So I'm going to be wearing the high-waisted underwear. I'm going to be wearing something to smooth out Leroy. It has got a lot of pattern going on. So the more pattern, the better. It's hiding my ostomy. It's really kind of distracting from it. But also the fabric is kind of, it's got a sheen to it, a shine. So, the light hits it differently and that kind of distracts too. But it's very comfortable, surprisingly very comfortable. And this one has zero stretch to it. This one I remember the only thing, because it is a mermaid and it's tighter fitting, lifting your dress up. There's a lot to it too. Lifting your dress up to get up to try and empty your ostomy, that was a little bit difficult. So you may have to just take her off. I think that's what I did with my wedding dress on our wedding day. Otherwise, you know, that was really the only issue. This one really makes me feel confident though. I felt so pretty the day I wore it. I know I'm gonna feel really good the day that I wear it next time. And as with any event, especially weddings, just the preparation for it is really key for me. I like to make sure that I'm hydrated. So like I said before, the element is going to be had in the morning. It's going to be brought with me. I'll probably stick an extra packet in my purse just in case, because you never know where the night will take you. I also make sure to eat regularly. I truly find that if I try to starve myself thinking that, oh, my ostomy is not going to do anything, I get to the wedding and then, you know, I have an hors d'oeuvre, like I'll have a cracker. My ostomy will just fill up. It'll go crazy. So that's why I don't do that. If I space out my meals and really just keep a good schedule, then I find that it's much more regulated. My output comes much more slowly and I can manage it. It isn't a sudden rush to get to the restroom. And, you know, in my purse, of course, I bring anything that I might need. So that changes supplies, but also medication. If there's anything that you need, that you may potentially need, that will help you enjoy the evening. Maybe it's just Tylenol, or maybe it's something to slow your ostomy if you think you might have issues with that. Whatever you need, just bring it. I like getting one of those little tiny pill organizers. It's really great to just put, you know, make sure you label it so you know what you're taking, and you're taking it as prescribed or as recommended. But filling up one of those, it makes it so you're not bringing around 18 pill bottles. You've got everything nice and organized and accessible. I keep one in my purse at all times. So that way, if I have a headache, I've got Tylenol. There's nothing like being out and about and you get a headache and you just feel miserable. So I've got that. But yeah, I'm so excited. I love weddings. I love dancing. I will be out on the dance floor. That's what we do. That's our favorite part, Zach and I. You will find us on the dance floor every time. Most likely. So anyways, yes, this is the final dress. I think that we're going to have a great time at the next 3 weddings, just like we did with the first. You know, I'm glad that I found different ways to adapt to ostomy life. I know that it does not look the same for every person, and it can be an uphill battle. It really can be. And I think, you know, what really helped me adjust was looking back at how truly sick I was. You know, Crohn's is a word I'm not going to say, but you know what I'm thinking. It was rough. It was very rough being a teenager, just constantly stuck in the bathroom, constantly in pain, and not really seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I think in my case, my ostomy was a blessing and truly gave me the ability to live life. It does look different. It does look different from, you know, a majority of the population. But there are certain benefits to it, like not having to sit in the restroom all day. You know, there are times when Zach is struggling in the bathroom and he's normal. He's got all the organs and no diseases. And I just think to myself, well, I feel a little lucky here with my ostomy. I'm not glued to the bathroom. So it's funny how it works out like that. And I'm glad that I've been able to look at it like that way. Like, just, I can sort of picture what life might be looking like if I didn't have my ostomy today. And man, I don't think I'd ever want to go to the bathroom the old-fashioned way. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. And if you are interested in trying out Element, getting that free sample pack with any order, I highly recommend it. Make sure to go to drinkelement.com/LetsTalkIBD. All right, guys, I will see you in the next. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you are looking for a way to help support my channel, consider liking this video or even subscribing. You can also check out my store at LetsTalkIBD.shop. I have stickers and hoodies like these guys over here, just related to chronic illness and inflammatory bowel disease, something fun. And I also have a coupon code for my YouTube watchers. You could also become a member of my channel, like the wonderful people scrolling on screen here. They've become a member and they have access to videos a little bit earlier. It's a great way to support my channel, and really, just watching my videos means the world. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next.